Hi guys, welcome to Twin Perspective. I'm Joe.
I'm James.
And tonight we're going to be doing the best films of 1982.
The Fucked Up Shit Awards.
That's right. The Academy Awards gets it right sometimes, gets it wrong a lot of the times.
Our choices aren't based against the Academy. They just happen to get it right sometimes.
Yeah, and
where we get it right all the time.
We get it right all of the time. This is 1982.
We were 11 at the time.
Right. 1982.
So a lot of these we saw like a couple years after on HBO.
Right.
Some of them we saw the year they came out.
Yeah. And we went to the theater for a couple of them.
This is one, as I look down the list, that I've seen every movie on the list, which is very rare for the Academies especially.
So what I'm going to do is list some films from the year 1982 to give you a reference point. And the ones I list toward the top of the list are the ones that were Academy darlings. And then when you get toward the middle of the list, that's kind of our darlings.
Yeah.
But here you go, in case you don't know, from the year 1982.
Write the list down and then do your own and then see how we match up.
Yeah, if you're a complete geek nerd like we are. Starting off, 1982, Gandhi.
Best Picture, Academy.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Ifana. Tootsie.
Ooh, Tootsie.
One of my all-time favorites. Missing. The Verdict. The Verdict.
The verdict is in. Corporate America wins again.
Who was in The Verdict?
Paul Newman.
Oh, yeah. An Officer and a Gentleman. Aren't they all? Sophie's Choice.
It's a Sophie's Choice.
The World According to Garp.
Mm-hmm.
That was a dark one. Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. The original.
Yep, with Harrison Ford. Directed by
Ridley Scott.
Poltergeist. The original.
Now we're talking. Directed by Toby Steven Spielberg Hooper.
That's right. Directed by Toby Hooper, in credit only. Steven Spielberg had his fingerprints on that one.
And we found out because of his contract with the studio, doing E.T. at the same time, he was not allowed to do another movie. So he was just there all the time.
Right. The Thing.
John Carpenter.
The original remake. John Carpenter's The Thing.
Wow. On location, set at its finest.
No joke. First Blood.
The first Rambo movie. Rambo First Blood. They later called it.
Mm-hmm.
But the book, it's actually a novel. It was a book written, First Blood.
Good.
And a very good retelling. It's a little different than the book. I read the book. Very good movie.
Diner.
Diner. Was that John, American Werewolf in John Landis?
I think so, maybe so.
We didn't do our homework and we don't have a phone around.
Kiss Me Goodbye.
Kiss Me Goodbye.
An underrated film, I think.
We were brought to the movies to see that. We would go to the movies when our mom would get us for the weekends. And sometimes it was what she wanted to see.
Mm-hmm. Remember that time she took us to go see Mommy Dearest?
Mommy Dearest.
And we were young. Younger than 11.
Nobody needed to see that.
No. I think our mom was trying to tell us something.
But she took us to see Foul Play. That was 1978, right? So we were 7 then. So you can see 1982. She's been doing it a lot of weekends. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it was what she wanted to see. She wanted to see that, and we were lucky because Kiss Me Goodbye is like, I don't know, adds to my humor in general.
It's a classic.
It's those kind of little movies, the gems, hidden gems that Mom took us to see.
Mr. Saturday Night.
Special.
That's Billy Crystal. Victor Victoria.
Blake Andrews, Julie Andrews.
48 Hours.
Now we're talking.
Rocky 3. That's the one with Mr. T.
Eye the Tiger, baby. Eye the Tiger.
Night Shift, directed by
Ron Howard, his first directorial debut starring Henry Winkler and a fresh face
Michael Keaton.
called Michael Keaton.
Yeah, that was the first thing I ever remember him in. That was it.
Love Brokers.
Night Shift is a classic. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yes, you got a picture. We're 13 years old by the time this movie's playing on HBO, and Phoebe Cates.
Nope.
Bagom.
I was in love with Phoebe Cates.
We're moving in stereo. Like to say. First boobies is my life.
I appreciated her ability to act. Yeah. Right.
Well, I was going to say something, but I'm not.
That's Mrs. Kevin Kline.
Right, and that's why I didn't say anything.
She can act. She's good. She's
Yes, she
beautiful. Good Lord. Lord have mercy.
On my soul, I like me some Jennifer Jason Lee too. That's Fast Times at Ridgemont High. My first speaking role ever this year was with Sean Penn.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Dude.
Das Boot.
Das Boot. Wolfgang Peterson directed.
Pink Floyd, The Wall. Alan Parker.
The actor that played the Roger Waters wannabe escapes me.
Yeah, that's Amadeus guy.
Pink.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I think that's the guy that pretty much killed Michael Hutchins because he was fucking Michael Hutchins' wife, and Michael Hutchins couldn't see the kids or something that weekend, and he ended up killing himself. Yeah. Anyway, that's
That guy.
all rumor, and I don't like that guy anymore. So,
Sometimes that's how we make our decisions.
in excess.
I don't listen to Ted Nugent. I don't even give him a chance.
No. And fuck Duck Dynasty. Okay.
That's quacktastic.
Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Two. Because, Star Trek was so boring, the original motion picture, and then the trailer just said, look, we're going to actually have some action this time. And they delivered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was one of the better Star Trek films. And director of photography, I think she got mentioning the log lady herself, Catherine E. Coulson.
Catherine E. Coulson, the log lady.
So,
There's your Twin Peaks tie right there.
one of my all-time guilty pleasures, Grease Part 2.
Let me tell you something about Grease Part 2. There are two types of people in this world. Grease lovers and Grease 2 lovers.
It's possible to love both.
It is.
But,
But you have to have a favorite.
yeah, Part 2 is my favorite, no doubt.
Oh, come on and tell us, Johnny. Come on and tell us, Johnny.
What's the secret of success?
Another sequel, Airplane 2, the sequel.
And do you know that Grease 2 and Airplane 2 was written by the same guy?
Come on, you sure about that?
Positive 100%.
We're going proudly. We're going proudly. Here's another sequel, but it's not a Part 2. Friday the 13th, Part 3.
In 3D, and we saw that at the theater.
Yes, we did. We saw that.
The way it should.
How we got in and how we got glasses.
We were 11 years old. I don't know who would have taken us that.
I don't think our mom would have. She'd been like, whatever. And then our dad, I don't think he would have sat through that.
No.
And we didn't have relatives that were
I had to have a friend with an older sister.
Something like that.
I know that's how we got into part 5.
Or maybe one of our friends' moms or dads was cool enough to go and sit through it.
One of our babysitters, maybe. Mom only got us on the weekend, but we still had babysitters sometimes.
So, hey, 3D effects back in 1982.
When he came out with the with the fire poker, and he came around, it was like right there in front of me. And that was the first time that it actually worked. It took that long.
I remember looking down away from the screen and still seeing the poker, which shouldn't have happened.
No.
It was great.
Something like that elevates him to the best of the serial killers ever.
Mm-hmm. And another thing, the 3D effects were good in the beginning. They were okay, but when he shot that harpoon gun, that was the first time it made me jump. And we saw it in the commercial the whole time. But it really does come right in your face. Good stuff. And then the juggling happened right after that, and that was like amazing. Okay, anyway. 1982. 3D effects are much better now. A couple more here. The Toy, which was filmed in Baton Rouge.
The Toy. Jackie Gleason and Richard Pryor, and a little boy that I think ended up growing up to do porn.
My favorite year.
Oh, the movie. Like 91? 92? The summer of 92 was awesome for me.
Now, we have Moonlighting written down here. I don't know why. Would that be the television pilot of Moonlighting?
I don't know. You wrote that.
Yeah, we're not going with that.
That's my copy, but you wrote it.
For Moonlighting.
Some reason. See, yeah, I didn't vote for it in anything because of it's Bruce Willis.
It's TV.
TV that came out. You know, the pilot was filmed and then maybe aired the year after or something.
Or maybe there was another film.
It was definitely a pilot movie, though. It was a movie, but not a theatrically released movie. So I don't count any of it.
And one you thought of that I didn't really think of all those years ago, the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Colin Higgins.
Which had a cult following. Everything Colin Higgins does is awesome. That was Dolly Parton, too, just like...
Foul Play in 9 to 5. Yep, 9 to 5. Hard Candy Christmas came out in that movie. That was a song written that so...
How does that song go?
I'll be fine and dandy. Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas.
I bet Whitney Houston's version would have been better.
I'm barely getting through tomorrow. No. Don't let no crack let me down. No, Dolly Parton's version's always better, no matter what it is. Burt Reynolds, R.I.P., and Dolly Parton, and Charles Durning, and we'll get more on that Best Supporting turn later. Jeez Louise.
We're taking you all the way back to 1982.
Most of you weren't born.
13 minutes in, we're going to get this shit rolling.
Not even thought of.
The Bucked Up Shit Awards for 1982. First category, Best Editing. Who's going first?
Who's on first?
You want to flip a coin?
Yeah, let's flip.
There's a coin.
It's going to make this an hour long.
Heads or tails?
Heads, always heads. Leave my tail alone. I'll go first. You'll get best movie last.
You'll go first. Best editing. What you got? For 1982.
I wrote it down on the back of 86 so I could see through it. Best editing. My nominations for best editing 1982. Das Boot. You gotta watch subtitles and you just suffer through it. Blade Runner. First Blood. Just action editing. And if you get it wrong, it's very noticeable. And when you get it right, it's perfect. Pink Floyd, The Wall. Musical.
Yeah.
And Gandhi. Gandhi. Gandhi.
That's right. Gandhi.
Gandhi. No,
Just joking.
and my winner is what Pink Floyd, The Wall. Don't you love our teepee face? Best editing.
Pink Floyd The Wall. Best editing. Interesting.
Yeah, I know I'm way off on the definition of editing and cinematography, but I'm totally good at it.
God damn it. Every time I try to talk to you about it, you're like, I got it.
I got it.
You got it.
I'm a
That's
DJ.
good.
I'm an editor.
Pink Floyd The Wall. Did not make my list. No, it did. I'm just joking. My nominees for Best Editing 1982. Pink Floyd The Wall. Poltergeist.
Yeah, you see,
E.T. The Extraterrestrial.
that was actually nominated in the Academies.
The Thing.
That was tough.
And Tootsie.
Very tough to notice, or it's all about not noticing the editing in a comedy, Tootsie, and how can that compare to action editing, gunfire, and play, and
Yeah, most of the stuff you learn from Raiders of the Lost Ark, you don't take into Tootsie.
right, and such a good edited, well edited movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, I had to pick
Think
a class.
all about editing.
My winner for Best Editing 1982 is Todd Ramsey for The Thing. The Thing. You got it. Fucking
Everybody gets that line wrong.
Yep. What is it, really?
You got to be kidding. We throw in the fucking.
The next category is Best Cinematography 1982. Best Cinematography.
Once again, a category I'm so well versed in.
It's how pretty the pictures come out.
Does it pleases your eye?
Yes, if it's pleasing. My nominees 1982 Best Cinematography are E.T. The Extraterrestrial.
Ouch.
Tootsie. Gandhi.
Hi.
Blade Runner. And Poltergeist.
Oh, that was so close on my list. Poltergeist is very close on everybody's list in every category.
And my winner 1982 Best Cinematography is Alan Davio, I guess, for E.T.
Davey.
E.T. The Extraterrestrial. Okay.
Once again, I say, ouch.
Oh no.
You never even tried steak. Best Cinematography, 1982. My nominees are Gandhi, E.T., Pink Floyd The Wall, Blade Runner, and Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, because it was pretty to look at.
It was pretty to look at. Thank you, Log Lady, for that.
Best winners, cinematography. Runner.
I believe that would be most people's choice in this year.
That was pretty to look at.
I went against the grain with the whole nighttime, daytime, everything I did in ET. I like that. I like somebody that can pull that off and stuff with flashlights and stuff.
Yeah, that was a close second. Very close second. A lot of these were very close. Because when you got Steven Spielberg and E.T., everything's done right. Everything's done right.
At least back then. No, he still does it pretty good. Okay, next category.
I like Ready Player One.
Best score or soundtrack, 1982. Best score or soundtrack.
This is where it gets messed up. Because I could have put 10 movies on here. I am going first, right?
Yeah.
And because a lot of these movies have classic songs, this would have been a really good year to do classic songs. I'm looking at Fast Times at Ridgemont High and thinking The Cars, moving in stereo. I'm looking at, there was one other on there, Officer and a Gentleman, just because of You love lift us up where we belong. I can't do the female version on that one. And then I started thinking, like, well, Rocky 3. Very inspirational.
Just like a wide wind.
Oh,
I know where they got that shit from.
DJ Bear. Friday the 13th Part 3. They get all.
Oh, man. Make my list.
Yeah, Friday the 13th one, probably for Part 1 and 2 for me in soundtracks.
The soundtrack for Friday the 13th is so good, as long as they emulate it in some way. I should nominate it, but yeah, that was a good one.
But my top 6.
Grumpy.
Grumpy, yeah, there you go. Nominee, it sucks. No, this really sucks because I could go with a soundtrack or score. The nominees are Grease 2.
That's right. That's right.
Deal with it.
Mm-hmm. That's some perverted shit. And we
Going prowling.
okay.
Poltergeist. Jerry Goldsmith or John Wayne?
Jerry Goldsmith.
Jerry Goldsmith. Blade Runner. Tangerine Dream. Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Greatest Pink Floyd album ever.
What are you going to do? In your opinion. E.T. John Williams. Tootsie. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Who did Tootsie?
Oh, I don't know.
I forget.
Yeah, good collection of songs.
And I'm telling me my baby all of my life. When you're going up against Pink Floyd, you can't beat Pink Floyd, but I think it's unfair that it has to share. But it has to share. Best soundtrack and score, Pink Floyd, The Wall, and Grease 2.
Woo-hoo.
Crickets. Everywhere there are crickets. That's some fucked up shit. Because y'all know you went bowling, and you sang it, and Cool Rider, Cool Rider. What would they say if they knew it was Michael? Another.
We'll be
Together. What's up, Janelle? We sing that song all the time, and we're damn good at it. But you can't fight with Pink Floyd. So, I mean, the damn movie had Pink Floyd in it. So. But Grease 2, probably the one we would listen to the most.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was our favorite. And I gave Grease a nomination. And I give Grease 2 a nomination this year. Grease got the win. In whatever year that came out, I forgot. 19.
But Mom took us to see it. I don't think we wanted to.
70. Anyway, my nominations for best
Star Wars.
For best score soundtrack, 75. 77. Finally.
Oh.
Best score soundtrack, 1982. My nominees are Grease 2, Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan.
Was that Jerry Goldsmith?
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Pink Floyd.
E.T., The Extraterrestrial. And Poltergeist. And my winner
Honorable mention.
for best score soundtrack is, for 1982, is My favorite Goldsmith soundtrack.
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
I mean, it's so there. It was so on my list. That's what took me so long making my list. I'm picking my winners, I mean, because it's too difficult.
Well, all three of those deserve a win.
That's my favorite horror soundtrack compilation. That theme song is definitely on there.
Oh, yeah.
It's the greatest horror. It's right up there with Amityville Horror
Uh-huh.
and Friday the 13th.
Best Screenplay, 1982 is the next category. 1982, Best Screenplay.
Take it away, Joe.
My nominees for Best Screenplay, 1982, Fucked Up Shit Awards, An Officer and a Gentleman, Victor Victoria,
Blake Edwards wrote that.
Diner,
I forget who wrote that.
Tootsie, The World According to Garp,
Dang.
and 48 Hours. I went there.
Yeah, I was gonna bust it flip 17 goddamn times.
My winner, Best Screenplay 1982, is Larry Gilbert and Murray Shizgow for Tootsie. Tootsie.
Sorry if we butchered your name.
Yeah.
Adiz Manzari.
Tootsie's my favorite screenplay for that year. I love that movie. I love that movie from beginning to end. It's a great movie. Screenplays, Egg Salad.
Egg Salad. My nominations: Best Screenplay, 1982. Tootsie. Airplane 2. Yes.
That was a good one.
Airplane 2.
That could be a winner here.
Big. Blade Runner. Diner. And Das Boot.
Das what?
Das Boot.
Das Boot and Das Oz?
Made me read. I had to read the screenplay. And my winner. Best screenplay. How do you feel about Cleveland? Tootsie. It's not Toots or Tootsie or honey, just Dorothy.
It's a good one. A classic.
Yes.
We're doing the best films of 1982.
I was a sexy tomato. Is it me?
The next category is
Did you just do that?
yes,
I'm seeing things.
Best Supporting Actress. Best Supporting Actress 1982.
Very tough. Supporting is always tough. Not as tough as Best Supporting Actor of this year. Best Supporting Actress, my nominees are Jessica Lange, who won the Academy Award
Yes, she
for Tootsie. Terry Garr for Tootsie. Shelley Long for Night Shift. They ain't no way she a prostitute. It's Shelley Long. Glenn Close for something I didn't write down.
The World According
The
to
World
Garp.
According to Garp. I don't know why I was thinking Sophie's Choice.
She was good. That was like, might have been the first time she was nominated.
Yeah.
She was just direct.
John Lithgow didn't count for supporting actress. And Zelda Rubinstein for This House is Clean. Poltergeist. Usually don't like to give it to the ones that just show up for 2 minutes. But she showed up, and I am addressing the living. But seriously, the Academy Award winner that was there next, I can't remember her name right now. The other doctor that came. You know, the
Right.
yeah,
Right.
that shared the little nip of the flask. Love it.
Yeah, she was good too.
She's great.
But your winner for Best Supporting Actor, 1982, is actress.
Actress and should have won.
Supporting actress.
Terry Garr. Tootsie. I don't think it's really much of a contest. Jessica Lange was in it, and she was great, and she was beautiful, and that's why she won. Terry Garr was in it more. It's just great.
That was one of those instances where everyone knew Jessica Lange was the lead actress in the movie Tootsie.
Mm-hmm.
But they somehow categorized it as supporting actress, and she won, and a lot of people were like, that shouldn't count. And we've seen that up until Matt Damon with his damn whatever. Anyway, that was one of those instances where they probably thought Dustin Hoffman deserved to be the lead actor and the lead actress, even though he wasn't going to be nominated for lead actress.
Right. What's up?
Role was the lead actress, you know.
We need to get some liberals in the Academy. I think Terry Garr was nominated for an Academy Award. I believe they both were.
I believe so too. I believe they both deserved it. My nominees for Best Supporting Actress, 1982, is Terry Garr for Tootsie.
She's not tough. You want to say tough?
Jessica Lange for Tootsie. Glenn Close for The World According to Garp. Leslie Ann Warren for Victoria.
Leslie Ann Warren. She was in Clue.
And Dee Wallace for E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
The mom. And a horror queen in her own right.
She's a horror queen, yes. And she's a damn fine actress. And the winner for Best Supporting Actress wasn't very hard. Terry Garr for Tootsie. I should tell you to shut up today. But I won't.
I'm a professional.
Are these really chocolate covered cherries? Is that what she says?
Strawberries.
Oh, she's good in that.
She's good in that. So good.
Yeah, Terry Garr's good in everything, actually.
Roll, rolling in the hay.
Put the candle back.
This is like a Lifetime Achievement Award for her.
Classic shit right there on this fucked up shit awards. Oh my god, I almost gave you an answer. I can't do that.
No, don't do that.
I did that before.
Did y'all see it? I wasn't looking.
It won't matter. I don't think they saw it, but it won't matter. Even though this is one of the most difficult categories ever, always.
Always.
Best Supporting Actor.
Shudder to think. So many good performances.
Do I go first?
Yeah, but spoiler alert, I have 10. It's just too tough.
I've got 6 nominations, and my nominations for Best Supporting Actor, 1982. Michael Keaton for Night Shift. That goes without saying.
Love Brokers.
John Lithgow for The World According to Garp, and he was the Academy Award winner. Louis Gossett Jr., and he was the Academy Award
He was
winner
the Academy Award.
for An Officer and a Gentleman. I didn't like the winners this year at all. I mean, I like the performances, but the people that won the Academy Award shouldn't have won. We'll get back to that. George Gaines for Tootsie.
Get out.
Yeah,
George
good shit.
Gaines.
Does Jeff know? Dabney Coleman, because he's Dabney Coleman, for Tootsie.
Oh. Yeah, because he's Dabney Coleman. The Dabney Coleman Award
That guy's great.
for Best Supporting Actor.
And Ricardo Montalban
Wow. With the chess piece.
for Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
I can never get that straight. The camera.
And my winner for Best Supporting Actor, which should have won the freaking Academy Award, John Lithgow, The World According to Garp. And John Lithgow is just one of the better actors there is.
He didn't win for me.
What?
No. The only Dabney Coleman award Dabney Coleman won was 9 to 5.
That was John Lithgow, my winner. What's your winner? Best Supporting Actor, 1982.
I'm gonna give you 6. John Lithgow, The World According to Garp. Rutger Hauer, Blade Runner.
Yep, I can see it.
Ricardo Montalban, I will travel the seas of Nebula. I don't remember what he said. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Charles Durning for Tootsie. He was in Best Little Whorehouse in Texas too. A great job. When you in 2 things and you kick serious ass in both. This is true. That's why Dabney Coleman didn't get nominated for the Dabney Coleman Award. Lou Gossett Jr.'s Officers and a Gentleman. Ossifer and a Gentleman.
He did win. I think
Louis Gossett
Louis
Jr.
Gossett
won.
Jr. won.
Definitely. And then he disappeared off the face of the earth. It's something to do with Iron Eagle. I thought that was funny. Oh, the wrong people.
He's been working. He's just been doing television stuff, direct-to-video stuff.
But my winner, of course, I didn't mention it yet. Michael Keaton, Night Shift. Am I doing the right category?
Yes,
right
you
now?
are.
Oh my
Best
God.
Supporting Actor.
It's because it was backwards, and I'm like, did I just fuck up? Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton's
Night
your
Shift.
favorite actor currently, right?
Yes, and he kept a little tape recorder, and he was the ideas man. If you haven't seen Night Shift, it was great.
It was a tour de force.
Tour de Force is his first movie.
First movie I remember him in, and he left an impression, and he's had a career ever since. Very worthy of that award.
Chuck. And Henry Winkler was Chuck. What's up, Chuck?
The next category is Best Lead Actress, 1982. Best Lead Actress.
Nominees are Best Lead Actress. I have 6. Meryl Streep, Sophie's Choice, Julie Andrews, Victoria, Deborah Winger, An Ossifer and a Gentleman, Michelle Pfeiffer, Grease 2.
She was good. She was impeccable. She really was.
A good ride. She was impeccably hot. Sally Field for Kiss Me Goodbye.
Because she's Sally Field.
She's Sally Field. If she's in a movie, she's nominated.
She commanded that
She
movie.
gave birth in that chair. Jo Beth Williams, Poltergeist. Yes.
That's one the Academy, I believe, missed.
Yeah. They totally missed. On Michelle Pfeiffer for 2. Missed.
And your winner for Best Lead Actress 1982 is
Sally Field, Kiss Me Goodbye. Maybe it's because my mama took me to see it. Maybe it's because Kiki D did the theme song. Maybe it's because Jeff Bridges' first time, no, because we saw King Kong first, yeah.
That was all around the same time. That King Kong was
Yeah.
a couple years early.
A young Jeff Bridges and James Caan. And just great actors all around. And it was the Sally Field show.
She was awesome.
Why not watch it? There he is. There he is.
My nominees for Best Lead Actress, 1982. Sally Field for Kiss Me Goodbye. Julie Andrews for Victoria. I believe she won the Academy Award.
Wheels are alive with the sound of music.
I could be wrong. Deborah Winger, An Officer and a Gentleman. Because she's Deborah Winger, too. That.
Yeah, just someone people miss the boat on the greatest of the greatest ever, and that's one.
Meryl Streep for Sophie's Choice. That could have been the winner, too.
I think that might have been the winner.
Yeah. Now, she was always nominated because she's Meryl Streep for the Academy.
We did these a long time ago, but
Mary Beth Hurt for The World According to Garp.
that's where your love for that movie and mine kind of branch off a little.
Sissy Spacek for Missing.
Sissy Spacek. You guys see her in Castle Rock?
She's dominating. Wow. Yep. And that's David Lynch's best friend right there from a long time ago.
You slip him a couple dollars for Eraserhead.
And Jo Beth Williams for Poltergeist.
Yes. That was a close second for me. We just both left the camera.
And my winner for Best Lead Actress 1982 is
Wow.
Sally Field for Kiss Me Goodbye. And we didn't plan this shit.
No.
She's fucking awesome in that. Pardon my French. Sally Field is awesome. She can do no wrong. Even in Soap Dish, she like fucking just kicks ass. Smokey and the Bandit. Just watch any Smokey and the Bandit movie that she's in and watch her. Just impeccable. You ever see
So natural.
You ever see the bloopers? It's always Burt Reynolds that screws up. Sally Field is always on point with her lines and in timing and perfect. And it's Dom DeLuise or somebody else screwing up. Okay.
Yep. She got to sleep with Burt Reynolds.
Really?
Maybe because she was in Sybil, and we kind of like share the same
Oh, she was good in Sybil.
multiple personality. Like,
Remember when she played a love interest of Tom Hanks in what was it? A comedy movie.
brain
Punchline. Punchline. And then she played Tom Hanks' mom in Forrest Gump. Okay, so there's Sally Field.
There you go. That's some fodder for you.
Best Lead Actor, 1982. This is me.
Yes. Yes, it is.
This is the one that I held a grudge forever and ever and ever. Because the Academy Award winner was Ben Kingsley for Gandhi.
Very good performance.
Really good. But my winner is my all-time favorite lead actor performance in any movie.
Wow.
And that's saying a lot. So my nominees are Ben Kingsley for Gandhi, Robin Williams for The World According to Garp, Dustin Hoffman for Tootsie, Peter O'Toole for My Favorite Year,
Ah.
Billy Crystal for Mr. Saturday Night, and Craig T. Nelson for Poltergeist. Oh yeah.
Yes! No one recognizes. That's some fucked up shit. It's Craig T. fucking Nelson.
Yeah. Well, they recognize him once he's old and on TV, I guess, but not back in his day. Yeah. Before. My winner is
Bob.
Dustin Hoffman for Tootsie. The greatest male performance lead ever in the history of film, in my opinion. Dustin Hoffman puts on a clinic in that movie.
Pretty sure we saw that at the theater.
It's absolutely amazing.
It's still hard to see him when you see him in makeup.
Mm-hmm. It's all just so perfect.
So great.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Oh, it's a sexy whale. Juicy whale, yes. Yeah.
Oh, as soon as he puts on the southern accent and the female, that's it. Good shit.
All right. I have 10 nominations. My nominations are probably in this order. Henry Thomas, E.T. So
He's not that bad.
it was 10. It's 10. It could be. He'll probably end up in your top 20 somewhere. Somebody's. All of y'all's. He did a really good job. James Caan, Kiss Me Goodbye. Because even though he was dead and he was the ghost,
He was the lead.
Jeff Bridges was the boyfriend. He was the lead. Ben Kingsley, Gandhi. Oh, Kurt Russell, The Thing. Kurt Russell,
Of course.
The Thing. Craig T. Nelson, Poltergeist. Of course. Eddie Murphy, 48 Hours.
Pretty close.
Nick Nolte, 48 Hours.
That's some good shit right there.
Dustin Hoffman, Tootsie.
The best ever.
Jackie Gleason, The Toy. And Richard Pryor, The Toy.
Wow.
Go back and watch The Toy.
They're impeccable. You ass.
You ass.
It's U.S., not U.S.
Dustin Hoffman. Tootsie is my winner because
It's fucking phenomenal.
It's the best. It's the best performance by an actor in 1982. That's some fucked up shit, but it's true.
Yeah, Ben Kingsley was excellent as Gandhi.
Yeah, he was very excellent.
I think they just fucking missed it. They did. Somehow they did. Bastards. Alright, and it took me a long time before I gave Ben Kingsley a shot after that, too. But
Yeah.
yeah, Suspect Zero is what did it for me.
And
I'm
it's
like,
like, I might watch Gandhi now.
Yeah.
It's the 90s.
Down to two categories. 1982, Best Director.
Oh, speaking of Gandhi, best director. Only got 5. Richard Attenborough, Gandhi.
I'll show you.
John Carpenter, The Thing. Ridley Scott, Blade Runner. Steven Spielberg, E.T.
I thought you was going to say Poltergeist.
The Extraterrestrial. And Stephen Toby Hooper Spielberg for Poltergeist.
Oh, it was a Saints-Rams game in that movie.
And there is no better directing if it was Toby Hooper. No, there's no other movie that's that's his all-time best directing.
Yeah.
Even though we know it was but everything's felt Spielberg in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's the mid-80s, anything he
Yeah.
produced.
Yeah.
Back to the Future,
Gremlins,
Goonies.
Goonies. Yeah. Steven Spielberg had his fingerprints on all of that, though I suspect...
Inner Space.
Yeah. Though I suspect Poltergeist, he did more than just
He's at his
observe.
peak. Yeah, he was at his peak.
Mm-hmm. But great job, Toby Hooper, nonetheless.
That's right, because if we wouldn't have had peeling faces and spitting steaks and maggots,
It wouldn't have been as good.
it wouldn't have been, it would have been someone else directing, not Toby. But I couldn't give it to him because we don't know. Sorry, dude. Best director. Ridley Scott. Blade Runner. That's my wiener. I think that's funny. Ridley Scott, man, did Alien, then he did Blade Runner and solidified him. And he's still important today. Doesn't make really great movies. The Martian was a very good movie. But he was in his prime back then. Gots to give it up. But that's not your winner, is it?
No, my winner is very strange. My nominees for Best Director.
And Wolfgang Peterson for Das Boot.
I've got a couple of them here. A couple of nominees. Richard Attenborough for Gandhi. John Carpenter for The Thing. Steven Spielberg for E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Ouch.
Toby Hooper for Poltergeist.
Ridley
Scott for Blade Runner.
That's the exact same 5 I said.
Alan Parker for Pink Floyd The Wall. And Sidney Pollack for Tootsie.
Yeah, Sidney Pollack. Once again, when you direct a comedy, it's difficult to see it.
I believe.
Just when you're talking about massive, epic movies, and then you get a little comedy.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
You gotta try and figure out. You lean on favorites?
No, I go with mostly what I think is really good compared to just favorites. But Sidney Pollack was nominated for an Academy Award, and I gave it to him for Best Director for Tootsie over Blade Runner. And I can admit, this has a lot to do with my love for the movie. As a whole, I'll pick watching Tootsie over Blade Runner 100% of the time. So there's that. I know I'm not as big of a fan as everyone else was. I thought it was kind of cheesy, but whatever.
It's hard to hit the right notes just to make a perfect comedy, and Tootsie was perfect comedy, and it was the direction, keeping it.
That shot of the crowd walking towards the camera, and then you see the wig, and then you see him struggling in that dress, and he's doing really good till right before he passes the camera and he trips on his high heels. That's good stuff.
Good shot.
Anyway, let's go to the final category of the evening. Fucked Up Shit Awards 1982. Best Picture. I guess I'm going first.
Mm-hmm.
My nominees are Tootsie, E.T. the Extraterrestrial,
Ow.
The Thing, The World According to Garp, Blade Runner, Poltergeist, and Gandhi. And my winner for Best Picture should be no surprise, Tootsie. I love The Thing.
I love The Thing.
And I love E.T., but I'm going with Tootsie.
Tootsie had a thing. A lot of people didn't know it most of the movie. The whole time. The whole time?
I'm Edward Kimberly.
Edward Kimberly. Well, that was a sexy tomato. Very close. I have the same ones.
Really?
E.T., Tootsie, Blade Runner, Poltergeist, and The Thing. No Garp was in
The
there.
Thing was such a phenomenal
The
film.
Thing.
Unbelievable film.
Unbelievable film. So is Tootsie, one of my all-time favorite comics. But best movie 1982 is, it always will be, Poltergeist.
That's a good one.
It's the best movie of 82. So hard to get that right, and they got it perfect. Perfect. Just make me. That's what's so popular about horror movies nowadays. The style and the way they got off slashers, and they decided to make it more like a drama, I guess.
We really got to know the family, and
You have to get to good acting. You have to get
Right.
good acting.
right.
And
It's
direction.
revered. The Amityville Horror did the same thing, where you kind of just stuck in the house with the family, and it's not nearly as revered as Poltergeist. Poltergeist had that big, epic feel to it.
Summer blockbuster horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Horror
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, it was surprising back then. Wasn't it one of the first PG-13 movies? Poltergeist.
It was PG-13. Yes, it was. First one was Red Dawn.
Those damn Colombians, what was it? No, it was the Ruskies, whatever. Oh,
Ruskies.
shit. Look out. I don't know. Cambodia, one of them.
When did Red Dawn come out? That was the first PG-13.
Right. I think that was.
That was after 82. So Poltergeist had to be PG.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just PG.
Well, that steak and that face ripping
It would be PG-13 now.
pushed it pretty close.
Yeah. They probably had to delete some scenes.
I'd say Poltergeist is number 4. If I had to be best film of the year, I mean, it's definitely, I love it way more than
I think I have to
E.T..
watch that one before any of the other ones.
E.T.'s the one. E.T.'s the one that's an epic masterpiece film. It's just not one of my favorite films. So, you know,
Yeah.
I gotta say it's,
We did see it twice in the theater because Mom's like, "What movie do you want to go see?" And the newspaper had like the biggest ad for E.T. E.T. was held over for like 6 weeks or something. I mean, it was there all summer long,
yeah.
and it was the biggest ad in the paper. Just where that money gets you, and it got us because it's like, I want to go see that again, forgetting that it was freaking boring the first time and then boring the second time.
Well, no, Mike or somebody else went with us the second time that hadn't seen it. And we knew what we were getting the second time we went, but the first time I went, I thought E.T. was going to be a horror movie. I was so disappointed. When this kid started talking to the alien in the Reese's Pieces, I was like, okay, where's the face eating going to happen? Oh, man.
And yeah, that was the beginning of, even though we were 11, that was the beginning of my starting not to like to see kids in movies. It's like, can we just get them out? And I guess it's all about becoming an adult. The 48 hours would have sucked with children.
The Thing was the alien movie I wanted, not E.T.
That's what Rocky does, too. Get the kid out of the picture. We don't need no children. You see the kid riding the robot in part 4. That's it. You see the baby with the mama, and you hardly see her. We don't need them. Jurassic Park, we didn't need it. Anyway, my bad. I'm getting off on a
You
tangent.
can have kids every now and then.
Spielberg and
Dog
his children.
Scraps.
Spielberg in every movie and his children. Did they have kids in Munich?
Do you like it when Scraps rubs up and down your leg?
That's Airplane too.
Well, the toy. That was a kid, too. And the toy.
And he was the most annoying thing about the toy.
Yeah, and the Poltergeist, the most annoying thing. You remember the teenage daughter was gone like the entire movie, and then she shows up just to scream.
You're done for the day.
Yeah. Oh, God, please.
Thank you for coming in.
And then the worst ending ever, which is another reason why I doxed the Poltergeist movie. The whole house just crumbling in this little light and then gone. I just didn't buy it. That didn't feel right to me. They should have sat there haunted or something.
That's why they need to make a part 2 on that property.
But when they pushed the TV out of the hotel room, that made up for it. Yeah, I was like, yes, yes, I would have done that too. And dying for that TV after.
Solidified the dad role. Doing the dad thing.
So that's our long-ass show for 1982, and I guess we're going to suggest anything to you on a personal note. Definitely Tootsie.
Tootsie.
And The World According to Garp is, to me, it's very black, it's very dark, it's very...
I might have to give that one a second chance.
And it's funny. And Blade Runner, of course, Poltergeist, The Thing, Kiss Me Goodbye.
Kiss Me Goodbye.
Kiss Me Goodbye is just an awesome premise for a movie.
It really is. Paul Dooley, his best a supporting actor performance. Paul Dooley is worth mentioning. It's really funny. It's cute. But
and The Wrath of Khan is gonna always be one of my favorite Star Trek.
You skipped over First Blood, and I love First Blood. Well, I love my stepbrother, and he was a couple years older than us, and that was just his shit. Even though the stepbrother I don't like looked like Sylvester Stallone in First Blood.
Yeah, he even got.
That's what I grew up with in the 80s.
With the compass on the end.
With the fucking hair, the furry mullet. Anyway, I'm not going to take that away from the movie.
And Friday the 13th Part 3 is one of my, if not my favorite, Friday the 13th.
Yep.
And of course the classic Greased.
Yeah. Cool. We go there, some fucked up shit.
That was it. The Fucked Up Shit Awards for 1982.
Oh! Some fucked up shit.
And they got it wrong when they gave it to Ben Kingsley. It should have been Dustin Hoffman. And I'm putting my foot down.
The toy. Jackie Gleason buys a black man for his son. Well, he just buys a Richard Pryor.
He pays him a nice salary to be a toy.
To be a toy for his son. It's just, you wouldn't get a movie like that made nowadays.
No, you could if you reverse the races.
Right. It was a woman buying a man and not a man buying a woman or a color. A black man buying a white. Yeah.
That would definitely work. Well, I already see it.
That's actually rebooting the works.
Kevin Hart buying Will Ferrell.
Yep. The Wayans brothers are going to come back for a new reboot of an old classic. Starring Chris Rock.
So that was it. That was what we thought of. We saw all those films. We saw every single one of them, and that's the way we look at it. That's what we're going with.
It's what it is.
Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to Rosenpill 10 for more crazy, fucked up shit like this. I'm Joe.
I'm James. Damn, we went over an hour.
This has been Twin Peaks, the best films of 1982. Or like we lovingly love to call it, the Fucked Up Shit Awards. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the trees. Bye.